One of our customers was asking how they might determine the height difference between two different faces and which one was higher. For example, on this blue block and this purple block, if we wanted to determine which face was higher and by how much, we could come over and use the measure distance in direction option and then pick on, say, the blue corner first, then the purple corner, and then give it this vertical direction here. Shows our height is 1.425 millimeters. The problem with this function is that it doesn't tell us which one is higher. If we use the same direction but reverse the order of the points and then pick this same up direction, the distance does not change to a negative value, which we might expect. So there are a couple of different ways that we could work around this. One is to go to a different measuring tool and say vector 3D, pick those same 2 points, and then we have an X, Y, and a Z value here. If we're not sure which directions we're looking at, if we hit F3 on our keyboard, then it'll turn on our global axes, and we can see that Z is, in fact, in the vertical direction here that we're looking at. And so we know that the purple corner is 1.425 millimeters higher than the blue corner. If we reverse the direction on these and say vector 3D, and pick from the purple to the blue, then our Z direction changes to minus 1.425 millimeters. So now we know that blue is lower than purple in the Z direction. If we wanted to know what the actual length of that vector is between those 2 points, there's an option that we can use for that. Instead of doing a separate measure operation, if we turn on our calculator and we have it in the reverse Polish notation or RPN mode, which you can get to from File, Settings, System, and then click on Calculator and make sure that RPN is selected instead of Standard. Then in the RPN calculator, we have our X, Y, Z, and T registers. And in addition to mathematics, you can use it for measuring and a lot of other functions. For example, if you click on edge length, then you could just pick on any edge and it would measure that distance for you. Anytime you have something with 3 dots, you can right-click on it. So you could say distance, measure vertical, in direction, on work plane, whatever. On this one here, we have 3D. If I right-click and I say vector, so I'm going to go from this purple corner to this blue corner again. And now we can see that our X value is 110 millimeters, Y is about 87, Z is negative 1.425, so it's showing that it's going down, and then our T register shows the overall length of that vector from the purple corner point to the blue corner point is a little bit over 141 millimeters. So that's a pretty useful way to get measurements and be able to use them in your calculator. You could also use any of these values in an existing input to a dialog, such as clicking on X, Y, Z, or T. It would pass it to your current command. If you have access to the AI MAXTools functionality, you can also see what that offset would be by going to the AI MAXTools ribbon and selecting AI intersection. What this does is it finds the intersection between 2 linear edges. So if we pick this edge here and this edge here, we get an error message that says there's no intersection found, which is what we expected. It says the closest distance is 1.425 millimeters. And if we look at this image here, we can see that the extension coming out from the blue edge is below the extension coming out from the purple edge. One of the great advantages of this is that if your parts are not aligned with your global XYZ axes, this will still show you exactly what your offset is, and it won't just give it to you in X, Y, and Z components. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions or would like to see some other functionality, please let us know. Thanks for watching.